like the team still kind of really rides. The highs are highs and the lows are lows, and there's not a whole lot in between.
We'll take the win, though, right? I mean, we played well enough to win that ball game. Of course, there's some mistakes that we can fix and that are correctable, which is a good thing. But I still think our kids played hard. Still played physical. Did the things we asked them to do, but they never quit, never gave up. So, it was an ugly win, but there's a lot of things in that game that if we just take them away, we get after them pretty good. But we'll work on those things this week and get better.
How big has it been in those games where you have won, but it's been a little touch and go that the team never fell behind?
It's good to see these guys be able to face adversity. I thought last year we didn't handle it very well, and even the year before that, I didn't think we handled it very well. And when things got tight, I thought we tightened up a lot, the previous 2 years. But this year, I think these kids, stayed confident, stayed, believed in themselves, believed in their teammates, and knew that they were going to get the job done. That's what I like about this group, and that's why they're fun to coach because, they don't give up and they believe they can win every ball game.
About the defensive line a little bit, how they've emerged throughout the season, had another good day that appeared on Saturday.
It's just gotten better each week. Coach Ickle's done a great job with them, but it's a great group of kids. I mean, every group we got right now is a really, really great group of kids. But those guys work really hard every day. They take pride in stopping the run. They take pride in getting pressure on the quarterback and getting sacks. And you can tell by how they practice. They just get after it every single day in practice. But they are getting better each week, and it's even good to see some of the younger guys get in there. Some of the freshmen start to perform at a higher level as well. So it's those older ones which aren't really old, except for Jason, but it's them teaching those young guys how to play and how to be aggressive and be physical. But they pin their ears back and they play hard.
Have you had the opportunity, and I probably already know the answer to this, but just to reflect on the fact that there's already more wins this year than last year, the improvement from year to year, or is that an absolute end of the year evaluation?
I think we've already doubled our wins from last year, and that's a big part of it. But I'm hoping we're not done. I'm hoping we're not satisfied with where we're at right now. These kids know that we still got a lot to play for, and as coaches, we know there's still a lot to play for right now. I mean, these next 3 games can mean a lot in what if your season is over or not. So, but I think these guys believe themselves that we can get these next 3. But it starts with this one this week against UCO. So I know they're going to focus in on that and be prepared. And they love playing at home in front of our home crowd. I seem like we have a little bit more energy, a little bit more juice when we're at home, and we just need to learn how to take that onto the road with us. So. But now it's going to be an end of the season evaluation. But I think we do have more wins than we had last year. We've doubled it already. But I'm hoping that we are not done, and I don't think we are done yet.
You mentioned doubling the wins and then playing well at home. Is it an energy thing for the up and down? Like one good quarter, one bad quarter, get a lead, and then kind of back off, or you've been able to put a finger on it?
No, really, just there's certain things happen, in those games that we've been on the road like the UCO, or the Mo West. I mean, just a couple turnovers there, here and there, kind of put that game, away for them. And then, Washburn this week, we had another turnover, which was pick 6, which got them back into the game. I feel like we let up just a little bit defensively, but they gave us a bigger front than what we were used to seeing, from them, through game film and ran outside zone. We just had to find a way to stop it. But, you look through that game, our kids kept playing hard. It's just us adjusting to those certain things. And, the heat, I think, had a little bit of a factor, on both sides of the ball, even for them as well. But it was a little warm on Saturday, but we're not going to make that excuse. I just think, we just got to stay locked in and focus a little bit more. And, once we get up, we got to learn how to finish them off, drive the spike, and, keep the gas pedal down.
You haven't made as many turnovers lately as you did the first portion of the season. The way the games have gone, you notice anything there different?
We as coaches, we've talked about that too. We really don't have a lot of turnovers lately, and I don't know if it's what teams are doing to us. I mean, because they really are getting the ball out quick. We had an opportunity in that game to probably have a couple picks in that game as well. I'm always talking about physicality. Maybe we're not hitting them hard enough. So maybe we need to do that a little bit more and create some turnovers. But it's just a weird thing that we're just not really getting opportunities to get those turnovers. But hopefully we start getting some more. Maybe it's pursuit, but I think we're pursuing pretty well as well because teams aren't doing a lot to us. I mean, they're not getting a lot, but it's just our offense is on the field quite a bit, and we're playing defense and getting some 3-and-outs, and that kind of leads to not getting as many turnovers.
Is there any increased sense of pressure because of what the end of the season could bring for your team, being in a potential spot for a bowl game or even better? I mean, I don't know what the expectations were at the beginning, but now it's starting to become real.
No, we just still talk about 1-0 each week. Right now we're 0-0 again, and we just want to win this ball game and move forward. Trying not to look too far into the future, and even though it's hard not to because we know what kinds at stake, but every game's important, and we know this is the most important game, this week is UCO, so that's what we need to focus on. And if we do the things that we need to do this week and win this ball game, then we'll worry about, UCM and then ESU the following weeks. But it's just focusing on this one and trying to win this one and getting the job in this game and find ways to win this game and just, again, preparing and practicing hard and getting better. If we do those things, who knows what happens. And we're hoping for the best, but we got to worry about this one right now.
UCO, I mean, they've got a different quarterback play now. I'm somewhat familiar with Pearl, who's at Missouri Southern. Have you noticed a difference in them with them in quarterback now compared to what they did before?
Probably just not as much quarterback run. With Brown, they did a lot of the quarterback power stuff and counters and things like that and play actions. I mean, but they're still giving us some of that stuff as well. But they're a little bit more spread, with him as well. But then they do get in some big sets where it's, heavy run, but it's more tailback run, not really quarterback run. But we still got to honor him because I think he still runs well enough to make things happen. So, this week we've got to find a way to stop the run and then make sure we put some pressure on him while he's in the pocket to hopefully make some errant throws, and then we capitalize on him and getting some turnovers. But, we just got to do our job, do our assignment. But, I mean, they're still very good offensively with the things that they're doing. They're big up front, as well. They got a big offensive line. They got quite a few tight ends as well, and they got some skilled receivers. So, we just got to make sure that we don't give up the big play and keep everything in front and make them earn everything that they get.
You mentioned one of the reasons that maybe some teams have started getting bigger plays is because of being more aggressive defensively, and you're hoping to find a bit of a balance. Have you found that balance, or is that still a work in progress?
Coach Brown's just aggressive with his secondary. I want those guys to go make plays and, not just pass. I want them to be in on the run, and because that's what helps everybody else out. You just can't play the run with 6 guys, so you got to get all 11 guys involved, and that's something that we do. And sometimes by doing that, you kind of give up the big play, but it's just being disciplined with our eyes. And, the big plays this week, that's something that we should have taken care of. I mean, the one with Kobe Rome, if our safety gets over like we're supposed to, that ball probably never even gets caught. But we got kind of stuck at looking at the out instead of going to the vertical. So, there's different things that we can do, but we're still going to be aggressive defensively, and I'm still going to keep having those corners and safeties be aggressive because that's who we are, and that's what we're trying to establish here is being an aggressive football team.
It's the Hall of Fame game on Saturday, and I don't know how much you pay attention to the classes that get inducted into the Fort Hays State Hall of Fame, but there's one of them that you apparently have a little bit of history with Sean Baer. Yeah,
a little bit. I think I was playing at Pitt when he was playing here. Of course, it was a 17 tie or 13 tie. Yeah. Wish we didn't have ties back then. We just, we had an opportunity just to play those games out. But back then they did end in ties. But yeah, he was a very good quarterback. He was a heck of a player, and he always will be. He's one of the top guys that you still look at the charts, and he's one of those guys that's still up there as well. But heck of a player, and wish we could take that game back one more time and play it again. But we're probably too old to do that now. But
so no tiebreaker this week.
Nah, well, unless him and I want to kind of. Well, we're both Tigers now, so so we're all on the same team. We're all in the same family now, so no, I'll let him have that tie.
Kind of along the same lines, do you sense an engagement with players who played way before your time, and guys like him who've been a part of the program in the past, and you build it up and have some success? Do you sense more engagement from some of the former Tigers with this program?
Yeah, you do, especially the ones that kind of coach, the ones that kind of been around here. Like Pavlovich at McPherson. Him and I talk quite a bit. John Montgomery, Dustin Damel, Bo Reble. Dave Foster, Brian Haynes. I mean, there's tons of guys that, Brian Haynes and I are really, really good friends. We're probably best friends. My best friend here in Hays, Kansas was Brian Haynes. And, so, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of those guys now that come back and you talk to them and, they're really proud of where the program's at right now and they're excited about it. And, you see a lot of those guys on the road too. If they're living in different areas, show up to those games and watch it. So there's a lot of engagement with those guys, and it's good to see them, be excited about where the program's at and happy for our kids as well.
And how important is that in a program, that sense of family that, I mean, after your playing days are done, you're still a Tiger regardless who's coaching and all of that?
It is. I mean, it's just what it is. It's kind of the way things kind of work, and I'm glad they welcome me in and are happy with the things that we're doing. But it's that bond that keeps this whole thing together. Their support and belief in me and belief in our players as well. That keeps this thing kind of rolling. Them showing up on Saturdays to see us play, to give us excitement and energy. I mean, it's just cool to see, the whole town, the whole community of Hays, behind us as well. So we just need to keep doing what we're doing. But that's the thing about this team right here. This is a very, very close team, and I'm guaranteed that this group of kids they're going to have this relationship, for the rest of their lives. And that's the same thing that these guys had before. And then they'll start meeting other guys that maybe played before them or after that they'll become friends with and have some conversations with as well. So it's just that Tiger family. It's a close-knit group, and we'll do anything for each other. There's quite a few. There's a few on this team right now that I think will be deserving of it. I think Nathan Shepard, is definitely one that I've coached here that's deserving of it. Doange Bowu, Connor Shadid. I mean Jacob Mazzara. All those guys, past players that I feel like, but that takes time, right? That doesn't mean that you're getting older when you get inducted to those things as well. So, but those are just some guys off the top of my head. Jesse Trent was a big, impact here. One of my first recruits here at Fort Hays. And, I'm sure there's guys that I'm missing. Kevin Clayton at corner. He was a tremendous corner for us. So, there's a lot of guys that you kind of go through the numbers that you think, are deserving of it and set some records and did a lot of good things for us. So there's quite a few of them that hopefully I'm still here, and we'll be able to induct those guys into the Hall of Fame soon.